PUBG Esports fans, I'm your PUBG Esports guide, Annie, and I'm here with Paper Thin again. Hi.
Hello, it's good to be back. Excited for the upcoming event.
Yeah, so we're here to explain about PNC 2022, but before, let's wrap up how the most recent global event, PCS6, have finalized.
So in APAC, finally, Day Trade was able to break through and win. And then in Americas, we're kind of back to the usual. Sonics came back with a vengeance for PCS6.
In Asia, Pero has won the third championship, and in Europe, they had the new champion, Entropik. They were relatively new to the global fans, but they have maintained their first place for whole match days. PCS6 is over, but don't be sad because PNC, PUBG Nations Cup, is coming back. You were there 3 years ago in Seoul, right?
I was. It was sizzling hot in Seoul. The games were so good, and the atmosphere at the stadium in Seoul was absolutely incredible.
But it might be harder this time because it's going to be held in Bangkok, Thailand. It's going to be held from June 16th to June 19th for 4 days.
We have an extra day of competition, 20 matches total. I think that's really good for both the players and the fans. You know that they have what it takes to represent their country well and be the best team at the event.
So today in PUBG Esports News, we're going to talk about the checkpoints and brief information about 16 national teams so that our fans can better enjoy the PNC 2022. So let's talk about Team Argentina first. I see a very familiar name here.
Yeah, of course. 𝐏𝐶𝐍𝐿 has been at maybe more PUBG events than anybody. I mean, he's been around for forever. You know, a team that got 9th place at the original PNC, I think these guys could surprise you.
Next to go is Team Australia, and this team seems like a stacked roster with Tiggleton, Luke, and Flood.
This has to be a favorite for this event. It all starts with Tiggleton, maybe the best fragger in the world. Luke and Flood are nuts too. I could see them winning this.
Now, Luke has participated in PNC 2019, but they have ranked 14th back then, but now this is a team that have a chance to win. So next is Brazil. Roster is totally different to the previous one in 2019.
Yeah, it is very different. Brazil team, still a very strong one, and that all starts with Sparking. You know, he made a name for himself at PGIS. You got to watch out for Brazil. There's a lot of talented players in this region.
Next is Team Canada. This team seems also very strong, and I see the brothership here. Adam and Dids are brother, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Dids is going to be the coach again. You know, the FaZe coach. He's really good. Adam's really been putting up big numbers for the gas cans. Really excited about Canada. They got 3rd at the previous PNC. They could absolutely do really well at this one as well.
Next is Team China, and this indeed is a winning roster.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. China has to be one of the favorites at this event. Just a stacked roster. Ming, arguably the most mechanically gifted player in the world right now with his teammate 𝐍𝐵 from New Happy. 𝐏𝐔𝐁𝐆 𝐍𝐬, everybody knows this guy absolutely is bananas. He comes up with unbelievable plays. And Xiaolu has been really performing well for 4 a.m. this year. So this team, in my opinion, may be the strongest team at this event.
Next coming is Team Chinese Taipei. I see some of GX members and also the previous GX members, Leo, who has changed his nickname to OL.
Yeah, this is a really good team, honestly. I mean, with how well that GX did at PGC, they're maybe even better. Mao Rush as well is a very, very strong individual player. So I'm excited about this team.
Next, first Europe team, Team Finland. Back in PNC 2018, it didn't work well back then, but I think now it's a different team.
I mean, Mexi's back. He's the kind of lone holdover, except for 𝐷𝐔𝐁, who's going to be the coach now instead of a player. And then Diggory, who's now on FaZe, so you know he's a high caliber player, of course, with, you know, FaZe performing very well at PCS6. I have high expectations for this team.
Next is Team Germany. In 2019, they were literally the one team, G2, so they ranked 5th, which is very high. But how is the new team looking?
Yeah, this one seems a little bit weaker on paper, but you never know. There's a lot of up-and-coming players, a lot of players with potential. You know, we saw Micah at PCS6 Europe, and kind of the holdover here is it's Chris, the player from Germany previously, is now their coach as well.
So next is Team Indonesia, and this is a new coming team in PNC 2022.
Yeah, I mean, this is exciting, right? You know, fans of this region are going to have something to cheer for. I mean, Niall in particular was really good at PCS6, so these guys, you know, you got to be excited for their first time coming in.
So next is Team Japan. This is half Sun Sister and half Donut USG.
Yeah, this is pretty exciting. I mean, you have the veterans of Poly and Run AXP from Sun Sisters, and then kind of these up-and-coming players in 𝐏𝐍𝐬 and 𝐂𝐻 from Donut USG. And, it's going to be an uphill battle for sure, but they won 2 chicken dinners last time. Anything's possible.
So next is Team Korea, winning the PNC 2019, end up second in the last day. They will be really desperate for the championship this time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they want to make up for what happened at the previous PNC, being so close on their home territory in Korea. Seoul and Lash are players that have been really strong in their region for some time. Lash is a great IGL for the Kwangdong Freaks, so I'm really excited about this team.
So next is our home team, Team Thailand. We have 2 players from Day Trade who have won the PCS's APAC, so I think their form is best than ever.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Nurin's in particular, to me, is playing the best PUBG he's ever played in his life. Look, the home team buff is really what this is going to be about. I think these guys are going to do very well at this event.
Yeah, so let's see if they can put on a show in front of their fans. Next is Team Turkey. Smash is a player that a lot of fans would recognize.
Yeah, this is a really good duo of players here in Smash and 𝐏𝐔 from BBL. BBL's been playing really good in Europe this year. 𝐏𝐔𝐿 and 𝐈𝐂𝐻𝐿, who are very good players in their own rights as well, I think could have a really high finishing performance if they can put it all together.
So next is Team United Kingdom. They even have 3, including Coach, that have participated in PNC 2019, which means they know how to play in the This Nations Cup.
This is a high fragging team. This team has a ton of firepower. The effects is unbelievable on FaZe. T-Bone is unbelievable on Heroic. Vard is now playing for Team Liquid. This team is incredible.
Next, Team USA. North American teams have been playing really well recently, so I think it would be really hard to pick 4 players, but the final roster seems really strong.
Quinn has been a great IGL for the Sonics. 𝐷 playing underneath him. Obviously, they've been incredible. Sharpshot has played really well recently, and Kickstart has been one of the best fraggers in America for the last couple years. So this team absolutely has to be on everybody's radar as a potential winner.
Last but not least is the Team Vietnam. We see Sabao, who have participated in PNC 2019, and as you know, we have talked about him performing in PNC 2019 with that hospital combat, like Brazilian times, right?
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the best moments. Looking forward to having him back. He's still playing very good. These guys, if you've been watching PCS APAC, you know these names, you love them. They're incredible. I'm looking forward to Vietnam.
So like Sabao, we have 9 players and 7 coaches who have performed in PNC 2019 and coming back to PNC 2022. It's really impressive that this many players have maintained their performance for 3 years and came back in PNC 2022.
I agree. It is a testament to, how much hard work these players put in, the dedication they have. It's really exciting for me to see these guys again.
And now we want to talk about some checkpoints. So first keyword is today's friends are tomorrow's enemies. So especially in the region like Europe and Americas, where players from various countries compete in the same team, the players have split it up to several countries now competing with each other.
Yeah, absolutely. The first one I look at is the USA and Australia. Obviously, the Sonics probably going to be the first team, your PGIS champions. Tiggleton going to be playing for Australia, and then Hwin and 𝐷 playing for the USA. That's really interesting because Tiggleton's going to be like, I know the positions that Hwin wants to take. I know where 𝐷 is going to want to reposition. These kind of things are going to be really important. And then next up is the United, right? Flood and Kickstart have been playing together for a shorter time. Still, they know each other's tendencies pretty well. They've played at international events against each other, but now they're teammates. So it's kind of that cool little rivalry going on.
Yeah, and we have one more team. Gunnar is a coach, but Luke and Gunnar from 𝐷 is competing too.
Yeah, that's a really good point, right? There's a lot of coaches here who are either coaching completely different players than they're normally used to, or maybe they have 1 or 2 players on their rosters. So there's a lot of information that you'll know, or information that you're trying to hide as well. It's kind of a fun little game they have to play.
And also, another 2 strong teams from America's region, Bing Bang Boom and Yahoo, have the players from Canada, Brazil, and USA.
There's even now kind of a broader region in the Americas, right? We're even getting Brazil into the fold. So that's really exciting to have these storylines that are going to unfold throughout the event.
And this tendency shows in Europe region too. The players from Team Liquid, Heroic, and FaZe Clan, the European top dogs, are split into Team UK and Team Finland.
Yeah, there's a lot of crossover between these 3 teams and therefore these 2 regions. So it's pretty exciting in a lot of ways. Finland, all 4 of their players have to compete against their teammates from previous teams. So you've got Vard and Mexi, right? UK and Finland for Team Liquid. You have T-Bone from the UK, and then 𝐏𝐔𝐁𝐆 and Paige are both Finnish. And then 𝐷𝐿 is Finnish for FaZe. It is really interesting going to be to see how these teams interact with each other based on their knowledge of each other. Again, their tendencies. It's so important.
So one of the fun things in PNC 2022 is that because of this reason, we might see 𝐏𝐷𝐿 shooting 𝐶𝐿, and this kind of things would happen a lot. So stay tuned for PNC 2022. Second keyword is hot drops, which a lot of fans enjoy watching. I want to ask how you think the Pachinki would look like this time.
I think it should just be all on USA, right? That's the Sonics drop spot. So with Hwin and 𝐿 there, I think they should have a firm lock on that.
Next best spot for Erangel would be South George, which a lot of teams like to land. And I heard that China and Australia might be landing in South George.
I think this is a really interesting battle. I mean, we've seen throughout PCS Asia history that China does not give up on drop spots for any reason. They'll still keep fighting for them. So I don't imagine that to change. And then the question becomes for Australia, are you willing to fight for that spot? Or is there a way that you can share that space? These are 2 of the best teams in this lobby. I kind of would like to see them maybe separate a little bit.
Yeah, besides this hot drop rivalry, in the kill leader wise, 𝐏𝐔𝐁 and 𝐶𝐿 and might be competing. So 𝐏𝐔𝐁 was the best player in recent PCS 6 Asia, and 𝐶𝐿 was in his region. So let's see how their rivalry goes on in PNC 2022. And let's move on to the Miramar. So Picado is the best compound in Miramar, and I heard that Team USA and Team Vietnam is dropping in Picado. And the fact that those Sabao versus Team USA clip has been floating around in the community for so long, I think Team USA would like to revenge.
Well, maybe this time we can have a USA 1v4 against Vietnam.
Yeah, of course. And Thailand and Korea, which is the only 2 countries that have hosted the PNC, are going to be doing the hot drops in Chumasera. So we're not 100% sure, but let's see how these 2 host countries compete in PNC 2022. So next and the final keyword is the best revenge is success. Team Korea was this close to winning the PNC 2019, but they ended up second, and they did win. The Korean team Gen.G won the PGC 2019, but after, Korean teams have never won any of the PCS events.
So for me, when I look at Korea, I mean, it's going to come down to the players. You know, Anonix had those highlight plays at PNC 2019 against Team Brazil that everybody remembers. Seoul and Lash are very, very good players. Seoul in particular has incredible individual skill. Lash has been a very good shot caller for a long time. To me, it's going to come on to like Lash as an IGL potentially for the team, and how well he's going to be able to lead the team to victory.
So next I want to talk about Team Finland in the PNC 2019. Expectations for Team Finland are very high, but they kind of failed to meet the expectations because they were last place to 16th. How do you think the new Team Finland would make a bit of revenge by themselves?
I think this is maybe the second or best team from Europe, depending on how you want to look at it. But I think for them, it's just going to be kind of, you know, resetting mentally, forget that happened back then. You know, sure, Mexi was there, but he's got so much veteran presence. They're going to know what to do. 𝐿 and Paige have been playing out of their minds for Heroic, so I think they'll be fine.
So based on the information that we've talked about so far, we want to show us our personal top 3 for the upcoming PNC 2022. And again, we have Pick'em Challenge ready for PNC 2022. This opens on June 8th, and if you purchase the PNC 2022 items, you'll be granted with items and the voting coupon, and you can participate in the Pick'em Challenge to pick which national team will win the PNC 2022. Also, if you purchase the item, the percentage of the item revenue will be added on to the total prize pool, which is $500,000 plus crowdfunding. So buy your items and cheer for your national team.
So the other thing to look out for is, of course, we have fantasy leagues now for PUBG Esports. Super exciting. Go to twire.gg. So first, you got to make an account, of course. Then you can go to the fantasy tab before PNC starts. Pick 4 players. You get $100,000 to work with, and each player costs a certain amount of money. The better the player is, the more they cost. So you have to balance, how good of a player is versus how many points you think they'll get. And players get you points by doing things like winning games, doing damage, those kind of things. I got 4th place in PCS APAC, and I can tell you, you can win some very nice prizes as well. In-game items, G coins. I already got mine. Get yours too.
Yeah, we talked about a lot of things about PNC 2022, and to wrap up, the PNC 2022 will be held in 𝐏𝐿𝐴, Bangkok, Thailand from June 16th to June 19th, so mark your calendar.
I am beyond thrilled to have this back. PNC, one of the best events in PUBG Esports history. Now we're able to do it again. Should be super exciting.
Yeah, it's the first global PUBG Esports event with crowd since PGC 2019. So if you can come to 𝐏𝐿𝐴 and show your support, and if not, we have the online streaming in a lot of platforms. So stay tuned for PNC 2022 and see which national team will be the best in 2022. See you in Bangkok. Don't forget to like and subscribe.